Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Suzy Harris, and this is my podcast, Next 7. Next 7 is your guide to building a healthier, more vibrant future for yourself and the next 7 generations to come. Through inspiring conversations with functional health and wellness experts, we explore the tools, the practices, and the knowledge needed to achieve whole body health. From nutrition and fitness to mental wellness, clean living, and holistic care, we aim to empower a community of passionate individuals dedicated to creating a thriving world for today's elders and tomorrow's generations. May you feel activated to get involved. Hey, everybody, it's Dr. Suzy. Thank you for spending time with me today on another episode for my podcast, Next 7. Today, I want to share with you a little bit more information about what this Dream Builder Vision Workshop is about. I've been getting more questions about it. This is an awesome opportunity. It's a 2-hour workshop it's an exploration style of a workshop where we're talking about what's required for you to live a life that you would love. If you've ever woke up feeling like, is this it? Have you ever experienced that? You wake up and you're like, ooh, this is all there is? Or just not feeling like you're living your purpose, maybe. Or maybe you don't even know what your purpose is. You want to be able to draw in more love in your life, more satisfaction in your career, maybe more time to do the things you'd love, more money to be able to do the things you'd love. So if you've ever felt this way, I really want to just let you know you're not alone. A lot of folks feel this way, but I want to share with you today a story of my own about how I was feeling that way and what got me interested in even certifying in this Dream Builder Vision coaching program. So probably 4 or 5 years ago, I'd say, I started really feeling what I was just describing to you, like waking up feeling like, oh, again, this same old thing. Not that I don't love what I do in my practice at Cedarwood Natural Health Center, especially once I get in the rooms with patients and that sort of thing. It's very fulfilling to help people in that way. And my personal life was feeling full of discontent and a lot of longing. And I'm going to share with you a couple of things that were poignant at that time for why. The first thing really was after being in practice for 26 years and helping thousands of people get their health on track and get their vitality back. My own parents were having health issues. They weren't together since I was a kid, but my father was having his health issues. My mother was having hers. And I couldn't find a way to get the information that I have from the studying and the clinical data and the research and the doctors that teach me the root cause functional medicine information that I feel could have really shifted their health. Now, I know everybody's on their own path. I have no regrets really about how everything played out because we're all humans here and we have a start date and we have our life and we have an end date. It's just how it works. And so my parents both had really great lives and there's no poor me story here at all. And what I was experiencing personally in the middle of all that was I just don't have a way to get the information that is available to my parents and to people who might need another data set to include when they're making decisions about their health. And then the second piece of my discontent, there might have been more than two, but I'm just going to stick with that today, was not having enough time and also not enough money really to do the things that I would love. Keeping it around my parents and their wellness and their qualities of life. My practice, very busy, very successful. I love all things about it and very consuming of my time and kind of a break-even experience. I try to keep my care affordable because it's not covered by insurance and all the things. And so I don't have a lot of money on hand didn't have a lot of money on hand to do the things I'd love, go home more often, develop a deeper relationship, and have my parents be able to understand what it is I do, how it is I affect people's wellness, and how valid the data is and the lenses from these other forms of care are, so they could maybe consider them. If they didn't choose them, I'm all good with that. Really, it's just the frustration of that they didn't get to have it to know it was a choice. So there was a defining couple of events for me that got me to know enough's enough on this, not having enough time on the microphone to be able to shift the narrative around what's available in healthcare, and also not having enough time and money freedom to be able to assist my parents in the way I would have loved when they were going through their experiences. There was a time when my mom was feeling pretty sick and she couldn't come out of it. And I was like, all right, I'm going to close my practice. I'm going home and I'm going to spend the time it takes to connect and try to help her understand. Let's get to the bottom of this, come to her doctor appointments with her and stuff and figure it out. And I'd been there for about a day and she was really not doing well. Her oxygen levels were getting low and dangerous. And I made the choice. We really need to go into the hospital and figure out get her out of this danger zone so we could get back to figuring out how do we lift her health up. And we were in the emergency room and there's things you can't unsee. It was really a tough experience. They were miracle workers. I have a high respect for ER doctors and nurses. They're just under the fire, but they're heroes to me. They pulled her out of her experience and got her stable with some really not so fun experiences as a part of it. And then she's up on the floor in a room at the hospital. I stayed with her, slept there, was going to advocate for what we needed. And long story short, all the rigmarole of trying to help her. She had a very intense oxygen mask on. It wasn't like a vent or anything, but it was a very intense oxygen mask, and she couldn't take it off or her oxygen levels would start to drop dangerously. So we're wondering if time and they're nebulizing her with steroids and things, would this flip and get different? And after probably a day, 8 hours, 9 hours of her resting and just being with what was happening, she wanted her mask off. It was several times that she wanted her mask off, which I will tell you did not make the nurses very happy. But I'm sorry, y'all. My mom has something to say. We're taking the mask off. We're going to hear what she has to say. And this time, when she took her mask off, she asked me, how was she doing? How did I think she was doing? And 30 years cardiac intensive care nurse, really skilled nurse. All the doctors wanted her on the floor when they were bringing their patients out of the OR. And so I knew I could talk medical stuff. And I told her what was happening with her heart function. She had just had some valve replacement surgeries to improve it. And the moment she was asking how she was doing, she was back to where she was pre-surgery, which was not a great place. And I just saw the look on her face. She just rolled her eyes and she asked me directly, do you think it's my time to go? I was like, whoa, okay, I can't answer that question for you, but I can talk with you. I was her health proxy, and I promised her that I would see to it that whatever she desired, I would make sure happened. So I could see her reviewing how her life had been the last year, multiple porta potty things around her house because she couldn't get to the restroom quick enough, pain, fractured vertebrae, just so much lack of quality in her life that she was not feeling good about it. And she had actually talked to me about this a few months before this experience, that she was not feeling too into keeping this life going if it was going to stay like this. And she ran out of money. She had in-home support, but in order to be eligible for insurance to cover it, you have to spend all your money down. Those of you who have elder parents, you know this story. She had to spend all her money down so she'd be eligible for insurance to cover these in-home people. It was going to switch to Medicaid covered, and she was not happy about losing the people she's come to know and love. And she saw her health declining, and she knew as a nurse that eventually it was going to be a more assisted living sort of thing. And she was not having it. She was not having it. She was a free spirit and she did not want to be in that space. So, time and money freedom, she didn't have the money to support staying in her home to have the care she would want, really. So I'm saying this because I watched her kind of reviewing all of this and she made a decision. She said, I don't want to do this anymore. I just don't want to do it. So I called my brother, and my sister was in California and we didn't expect this choice to come up like this. And so she couldn't be there with us, but my brother and I were there holding my mom's hand, one of us on each side, and just being with her while she let her life go. And again, this is not a poor me story because life does what it does. People and humans, her life was beautiful right up to all of this, even and the choices she made. My issue was not with that she chose to leave. My issue was with that longing and discontent I talked about, where I didn't have the power to share the information earlier with her in a way that she might have chosen, might not have chosen. But also the bigger one for me is I didn't have the time and money freedom to be with her, to have fun. I kept coming home only when she was against the wall with her health and couldn't figure it out because I couldn't afford to. I couldn't afford it. So I couldn't afford the time off. Successful doctor, 26 years running my own practice, but that was still a dynamic that had me pinned in. So the way that she left was a deciding moment for me, and an even bigger deciding moment for me. Let me, before I go there, in comes this email to my inbox from Mary Morrissey. This was before my mother passed, but I was feeling the time and money problem. And so here's this course. It's an 8-week course that she offers that's about checking in on your, what's the word? Your understanding of abundance. Do you have blocks around abundance? What are your perspectives and your belief systems around money? And it was a quantum physics, energetics based conversation about how we have, through our thoughts and feelings, and thoughts create form kind of concepts, the invisible quantum laws, that you could shift your whole, get these blocks out of your way and have more time and money freedom. And I'm like, that's me. I'm in. I enrolled. And I found Mary Morrissey to be very authentic and present. It wasn't so much the course and all the like exercises we were doing that got me grounded in feeling the value of this work. It was more her presence and her clarity and her absolute certainty that with structure and a time-tested, proven system with tools to help people understand the quantum physics laws and how they work so they could work with them, how they work, and get the results of living a life you would love. Like, imagine, live a life you love. What a good idea. So I was doing that course and I was in the middle of that. And then my mom's health kind of took its turn and then she passed away. Soon after that, I was on a beach in Florida experiencing my feelings, etc., about her crossing. My brother was in Michigan releasing her ashes in this really crazy, vibrant waterfall that she wanted to have happen. And on the beach, I had another deciding moment of enough's enough, man. No more of this, no time and money. I don't care what it takes. I really, you ever have something like that where you have an experience where you've just reached your absolute can't do this anymore? Unfortunately, as humans, it takes tragedy a lot of times, something that just happens that's so earth-shaking and soul-shattering that you're like, that's it. I'm walking out of the job. I'm quitting this relationship. I'm whatever it is. I'm moving out of this state. Sometimes those are like, you make these decisions without a lot of form underneath them. And it's not always, maybe you weren't on the right track there. But those deciding moments where you are clear, something has to change. Something has to change. I'm down there for a week, just really aware of how my debt balances are just going up because I'm not in my practice creating income. I'm worried about my patients because I've been out and maybe they're in the middle of stuff that I put on pause and their life is not on pause. And I'm feeling a little structure, a little stress about that. And then another email comes in of Mary Morrissey's that is about brave thinking. What was it called? Dream Builder. Gosh, I'm forgetting it because I don't, it was a little while ago. But anyway, it was a course, it was a year-long course that would take a lot of time, multiple calls per week, and the investment was up until now, I'd say over my head. No way in hell was I going to have the finances to enroll in this thing. And I don't know what came over me, but I was in that space of, I don't care. This has to get different. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. So I enrolled and I'm pulling from little bits of credit cards that I have to get started. And I'm just trusting that something is going to happen that will allow me to succeed in this because I can't do it this way anymore. So I definitely, through being involved in this coursework, I did find the time and I did find the money. It's not like it fell in my lap or I earned it or created it, but I leaned in and just found ways to finance it, knowing that I was going to succeed on the other side of this stuff to be able to see those investment balances come back down to zero and have the time and money freedom to do what I would love. As a part of that, what I would love is launching some things in my career that are having me become more of an influential speaker, teacher, and coach so that I can get the information out there for people alongside of I'm not starting this, by the way, I'm on the shoulders of many professionals who've already been doing this, but I wanted to be in on doing that, sharing functional healthcare, root cause medicine, and making it a valid choice, a valid, respected choice, a path that people would be able to consider alongside of all the other things they already consider, both and, not either or. So I definitely have achieved many of the promised winnings that would come from doing this. And I just felt like I wanted to share it with other people. So I went even further and I went and got certified as a Dream Builder coach. So I now have a Dream Builder coaching practice. I call it a quantum physics mindset coaching because it really is about sharing with people these invisible laws of quantum physics. They're not theories, they're science proven, like gravity. It's non-negotiable, right? If you know how to work with gravity, you can get a lot of things done. But if you don't know how gravity works, there's a lot of trip ups, no pun intended. And also, thoughts create feelings, and feelings have vibration. And vibration is part of what brings things into form. So thoughts create form. We're co-creators of our reality in a really real way, not just like a cool woo-woo way. And I'm living proof of it. I'm now out speaking, I'm coaching, I'm getting involved in higher level stages to be able to participate in bringing this information in my way. Everybody's got their own way, the way that I'm bringing it with a little bit of humor and a little bit of obviously open-mindedness and love. There's an audience that might be able to hear it the way I'm saying it. So I feel thrilled to be where I am and the results I've seen with the people that I'm coaching as well. It's a time-tested, proven method that's helped. Mary Morrissey's group has helped hundreds of thousands of people get her. I think her dream that she has is to have 1 billion people achieve their dreams. Because I don't know if this is how she puts it, but for me, if we have humans on the planet that are living in a high vibe way, that are living what they love, and they have time to rest and be with family and create and do purposeful work that they love, that high vibe becomes the dominant vibe. And then you get to see the lower vibe things that are breaking our hearts these days don't get to be there at the same time. It's a different channel. We're changing the channel. So getting into a place of higher vibration, more authenticity, more co-creation of our reality, we stop seeing the starvation, the drug addiction, the wars, the crazy stuff that is just outdated, super outdated. So, getting back to what is the Dream Builder Vision Workshop, okay, it is a 2-hour workshop that I put on usually every other month, but I might start doing a virtual one, like 1 month do virtual, 1 month do in person, because I've got people that aren't local that are saying, how do I get to do it? It's 2 hours where we spend time looking at your longing and your discontent. We look at your relationships and you get to see how does that look to you? What about your vocation or career? Or if you're retired, what are you doing with your time and talent? Your health, how's that going? Is it where you want it? Do you feel fulfilled? And then also time and money freedom, if I haven't talked about that enough. We look at where you are, how you feel about it. Are you fulfilled? And if you're not, then we show you some tricks and tools for how to understand what would you love instead. So the workshop itself can be all in all a cool thing for people to come get ignited, come get sparked up, get some clarity, get some traction and ideas. You'll walk out with what you need to light a fire in those areas. Some people have already done some of this work. Mary's not the only one doing this. Joe Dispenza, Greg Braden, all the cool cats, Bruce Lipton, talking about this. We are co-creators of our reality, and quantum physics is the playing field. So if you understand what's happening there, you can have more effect. You can come to this workshop and it's all in all helpful, especially if you have a context. I have some people that are like, I knew this, I've got videos myself, and I'm going to go back and use those now and get going. And then there's some other folks that want to take it deeper, and I do have some coaching available for those folks that want to do that. So I invite you, if you have been feeling any of the ways that we've been talking, I can promise you what's inside of you is more powerful than anything you're facing. Anything. That you absolutely can be living a life that you would love. So if there's anything I've said in this podcast today that brings you interest or sparked a little something, thank you for spending time with me, and check out some of the links below and get yourself in one of those workshops. Check it out. Bring a friend. It's always fun to have somebody experience it with you, because then you can chat it up after the workshop and try to encourage each other to stick with whatever it was you learned. I'm Dr. Suzy Harris. I care about you so much. Thank you for spending time with me. This is my podcast called Next 7, where we care about the next 7 generations to come and also our beautiful elders. And we're bringing in different things that you'll be able to use tangibly to take action and be a part of making things vital. And again, living a life that you would love. All right, take care. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Next 7. We hope you enjoyed the conversation. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Stay connected with us on social media for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and more. Until next time, stay well and informed so you can be a part of creating a thriving world for today's elders and the next 7 generations to come.